Hi, everyone. It's Julie Reisler. I'm here on the You-est You podcast. And for those of you who can tune in, it will also be on YouTube as well. I love these ladies who I'm about to introduce you to. This is a bit of a meaty, delicious introduction because both Anna and Shari are really badass, incredibly empowering, amazing women. And I want to just give you a sense of who you're about to meet and hear from. This is such an honor for me. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me tell you first about the Wellness Universe. You can have a little sense about it. The Wellness Universe is the world's first one-stop online directory and resource center to support and promote whole health and well-being on a global scale. This unprecedented platform connects world changers, industry leaders, and entrepreneurs online and through live events. Wellness Universe, also known as You-est You, provides members and the public with access to wellness resources and education and guidance in strategic development to transform visions of service into thriving businesses. There are currently over 2,600 members practicing within 7 areas of wellness, attracting over 150,000 visitors each month, holy moly, with a collective member social reach of over 40 million followers. Yeah. We believe that in connecting one another in the pursuit of whole health and well-being, personally and professionally, this causes a ripple effect that will ultimately inspire peace globally. If you are on a mission to better the world, we would love for you to apply to be a WU, a Wellness Universe world changer. If you're seeking healing, support, resources, and genuine connection to a wellness community, you are invited to register as a WU friend at thewellnessuniverse.com. I will tell you more about my involvement, and we're going to hear from Anna and Shari. Let me tell you a quick word about each of them. They're both amazing. So Anna Pereira said, "You are the center of the universe. You are a star shining bright. My hope and mission is for you to shine as brilliantly as you were meant to. Together, basking the light of each other, we will shine brighter." That's Anna in a nutshell, and that's her thoughts and her beautiful quote. And this describes her mission. It's about bringing out the best in you, right? And Anna has been a creative entrepreneur. She's been one with a strong attachment to spirituality for nearly her entire life. She calls herself an evolutionary catalyst, love that, to raise awareness and create positive change. Her background includes her own artistically based businesses in fashion and accessories, handmade and manufactured, and corporate experience as head of a multi-million-dollar division for a manufacturer of pet products. As a motivational public figure, her inspirational posts are known worldwide. Through her Facebook page, Circles of Inspiration by Anna Pereira, she has helped the lives of over 800,000 people. Welcome and meet also Shari. Shari is the co-founder of the Wellness Universe, an online community and platform of wellness providers, and the CIO, which is Chief Inspirational Officer, love that, of Soul Ventures, Inc., a company focused on being a catalyst for positive change on the entire planet. Shari is presently working on several other world-changing projects with partner Anna, CEO of Soul Ventures, and in addition to building and running the Wellness Universe, she's also passionate about sharing her message of self-empowerment, self-acceptance, and joy as an international speaker, author, video blogger, and all-around badass, amazing, powerful woman. All right, you guys, this is the longest intro, but it's well-deserved. I'm so honored to have you. All right, 20 minutes later, that's it. Welcome.
Thanks, Julie. That was fantastic. And I hope we haven't bored everybody to death. Thank you so much. You're so stellar. Love you so much.
Love you. No, it's all true. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Julie, for having us. We, as you were reading, I'm like, man, I could just go on and on. Like, I want to give an intro about you. Like, this is how amazing you are. And we're really grateful to be here with you and to share this time with you.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
For those who are listening, what's happening right now is the three of us are smiling ear to ear. And I hope this, smiles are contagious. So anyone watching, I hope you feel just lit up because I can feel the energy of you guys and what you've done. And, one of my questions that I always like to ask out of the gate is, what is the You-est You? What does it mean to you? And how does that show up in your life today? What does that look like?
Do you want?
Shari, you want to go first?
Okay. We always do this. We're like,
I'll just call it. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
It's interesting because the You-est You to me is so personal. I love it. First of all, I loved it when you created it. I work with clients on igniting their you. So, and really for me, it's about showing up every day and being able to look at yourself in the mirror and loving who you see back, being proud of the person that you are, accepting all of who you are, the flaws and all that we all believe that we have, and really just showing up unapologetically, boldly, bravely, and really as a badass. And that includes everything. That includes allowing yourself to feel what you feel and share what you feel and being okay with what you feel. And that wasn't always easy for me, throughout my life. So I feel like as I grow, I get more and more settled into that. And you mentioned before we came on that I was glowing on a personal before we came on air. And I just want to share, because the You-est You, I have discovered the meest me very recently, like stronger than ever. And so I'm just honored to be here with you. I'm honored to feel what I feel and just really grateful.
Wow. That was so beautiful. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I already have questions. We'll come back. Anna.
Well, first of all, I just want to, commend Shari for being on her You-est You journey, because Shari, you've always been the You-est You since I've ever known you. But of course, you're just developing into different areas. And I know that you've hit some major milestones and breakthroughs recently. So it's just another version of you. And I think that's wonderful. And I think that's where my You-est You comes in. It's allowing yourself to develop into who you are, because one of the things that I asked for before I met my husband, and I arrived at a point in my life where I said, I'm not going to be judged. I'm not going to judge anybody else. I have no expectations of anyone else. I don't want anyone to have any expectations of me. All I want is to meet someone that's going to allow me to live my happiness and it's going to make beautiful babies with. Now, I don't have any children yet, except for with fur and feathers, but that showed me that I didn't have to be anyone to be with the person who I was meant to be with, to be the person who I was meant to become. That you just have to let everything go, peel off all the layers. And to me, that's really living your You-est You and allowing yourself to unfold into who you are, because we really don't know what tomorrow brings. And as long as you have your core values of being a good person, being kind, being honest, being genuine, being authentic, I think the way that you show up, it always changes, like a flower or a tree. It will never be the same from season to season, but that plant will always give flowers, that tree will always come back with leaves, but it grows over time and it changes. And I think that, to me, being your You-est You is allowing for that room and being okay and not chastising for yourself for who you used to be and not having an expectation of yourself for the future.
That's so well said. As you're speaking, I'm taking notes. This is part of why I love doing these interviews and podcasts, because I'm like learning and getting ideas. I'm like, great point. Like I hadn't thought of that for me, and hopefully others too, of course. But something I think I really heard in what you just said that I do believe can be hard to come by is this real acceptance, this full acceptance, kind of what you were saying, Anna, about accepting who you are, where you are, being able to be in that, as we've heard before, staying in your lane of who you are, and then allowing people to be in their lane. And then from there, so not looking for others to make us happy, becoming already happy in who we are. That's kind of what I heard both of you say in some essence, is uncovering you and then accepting all of that.
I spent a lot of time in my life trying to be, when I was younger, what I thought others wanted me to be. Because of experiences in my life, I had learned that the choices that I made or the things that I did in their eyes, or what it seemed like in my eyes, wasn't good enough or the wrong choice. So I spent a lot of time like, what do you need? Well, how can I be? And obviously not consciously, but that's how I showed up. And I realized that, number one, I didn't end up with true relationships because those people were showing up for someone that I was pretending to be. And then I didn't understand why they didn't accept me. Well, it was because I wasn't even being me. and realizing that the only thing that ever made sense and felt at peace was when I just showed up being authentically me. And that's when I was finally able to breathe and go, all right, this is good enough. This is good enough. I am the way that I am good enough. So
that's so well said. I know just from hearing from people that are tuning in and listening that this area of good enough, of trying to fit in, of, I joke for myself, it's like the master's degree in people pleasing. I certainly get that one. I was going to ask you, like, how did that work for you? I know for me, no bueno. It didn't work so well. It doesn't work well when I get into that. It just doesn't, because we're not being who we really are. I love what you just said. I'm curious, before we get into, because I have so many questions about the wellness universe and what you guys are up to and creating, because I think it's miraculous and beautiful and needed. Just for those, because no one knows you yet, and I want them to. Are there any experiences that either of you had that were challenges, either recent or in your past, where you feel like those challenges have really led you to become more of who you are? I think it's helpful for us to hear, we hear how successful and all the things you're doing. And I think it's always important to be like, you know what? We all come from some sort of either struggle or challenge or some kind of learning. So whatever you're comfortable sharing.
I'll let you go, Anna.
I'm having a little technical issue right now. So if you could take that for a second, please.
Go, Shari.
So how many challenges have I not had? It's like really literally like choosing one of some crazy, because I have recently, which has really led me to where I'm at now, another layer, which has been physical challenges that I've been dealing with since the beginning of this year. And really it's hard to accept something, when you're number one in physical pain. It's challenging. It's challenging to sit in that space and try to believe, everything you're taught, like everything happens for a reason, and all of these, affirmations, cliche, like it's hard when you're in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But what I found is that as I was fighting them, that I was hurting more, both physically and emotionally. Mm-hmm. And so in the surrendering of this is where you're at, and in the understanding that perhaps I'm being called in a different way, that there's something that I'm not paying attention to, and maybe this gnawing at me in my stomach is really a gnawing at my soul to pay attention to it. And so for me, that challenge of releasing and surrendering to what has been one of my greatest and most healing lessons in my life, because I'm not fighting against it. I'm not trying to swim upstream. I'm not trying to control or think that I should feel this way. I'm literally allowing and soaking in everything that is happening to me. And that surrender has set me free.
Wow. And, just having watched a little bit of your journey this past year and on, different social media outlets and connecting with you, there was a part of me that wondered, because I've had this myself, you don't ever want to say to the other person, oh, the gift is on the other side. Hang in there. That's annoying. That's annoying. I know. And I had my thyroid breakdown. Felt awful. Thought I was literally not going to wake up. But I do remember that small little something in me say, there is a lesson here. I choose to listen. And it sounds like now you're in a place where, you've really gotten some lessons and gifts. Maybe.
Absolutely. Well, I think what happened is that sometimes physical ailments like really push you, because I knew logically that there are gifts and everything. I've watched myself come out from the other sides, from childhood sexual abuse, from divorce family, from just a lot of stuff that happened. And I saw myself go through the other side. So I knew that there was a lesson and a blessing in it. But when you're in it, it's hard to remember that or feel it, or to really sit in that space. So you can keep reminding yourself. So that for me was, that was just everything. And really exactly what you just said.
If you were to, if you don't mind, I want to ask you, because I'm thinking there are definitely going to be people, I'm positive they're going to have physical ailments and things they're going to deal with. What are some of and this is off the cuff, so you don't have to have it like, I have 3 things ready to say about this. If you do
but
great,
I do.
right. She's like, actually, I have it all typed out. I've bulleted 5 things. But what are the, I don't know, couple things that you could point to that you think really helped you to move through this and have healing? I think this is important because I've watched it with you and I can see it even in your, just speaking to you in your eyes and your energy, just looking so, peaceful and radiant. Not that you didn't before, but a different level. And so I love for those that are dealing with this would be so helpful to know what has worked.
So the first important thing is that I reached out and accepted help.
Awesome.
That was huge.
I was going to say that was the biggest thing. If you didn't mention that, I was going to mention it for you because that was the biggest thing.
And I was like, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I've been part of that.
Exactly. I've never been one ever. I'm like you, Julie. Like I share everything. People know what I'm going through, but I've always been one that wants to resolve it on my own, or like I have the tools. I've been studying this for 30 years. Like I know what to do.
Yeah.
But I got to the point where it was like I was pushed into this because I didn't know and nothing that I was doing was working. And so I literally reached out to our community. Well, of course, Anna first, because, she has to listen to me constantly about everything. And at the recommendation of like, well, you have this entire community of wellness healers. Like, why don't you? And so I did. And that was hard for me because I've always been, my own independent and I could figure this out. So that was number one, is that reach out to people that are around you. They want to support you. They want to help you. That's why they love you. I mean, they love you, that's why they're there. And then it was, of course, accepting it. And then for me next is that I gave myself space to really feel what I was feeling. Like no matter what was coming up, that it was okay. I gave myself like my own sense of security and safety, that no matter what I discovered and went through, that I was okay in that space. Because for me, as soon as I would feel something, I'd want to resolve it quickly, like with the positive affirmation or with some book that I read or something. Like I just wanted to move through it. And that moving through doesn't always really resolve. It pushes aside, it pushes under, so I sat in it. I sat in that space. And then I actually took on a practice, which has been really hard for me over the years, which is meditation. Yeah. For me, it was through nature and walking, but I feel like there was a part of me that was always distracted by the beautiful nature and and so to really start going within and sitting in that has been just transformational for me. Wow. I get emotional because I'm still, it's heavy what I'm going through right now, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Wow. No. Well, and it's like honoring your feelings. This is so powerful what you just said. I think the number one, if I can just reiterate, it's for myself, for everyone listening. Like,
say it better too.
No, you said it beautifully, but it's reaching out for help, asking. And we'll come back to this because the wellness universe, that's the thing. You guys have created this amazing community of healers and people all about well-being and wellness. So I'm thinking like, my God, that's brilliant. You probably didn't even realize you were going to be reaching out to the people that have been attracted and drawn to you, and to allow them to contribute to you is also a gift to them. And so it sounds like accepting that was the second part of that first thing, is reaching out. And then I love the space to feel. I deal with this. I bet, I don't know, Anna, if you do, I'm sure others listening, there are times where I'm just like, all right, exactly. Like, let me find a positive word or an affirmation, or I can reframe, or a new lens or new way to look at it. And honestly, sometimes it's like, you know what? I need to cry, or I need to punch a pillow. I need to go, for me, like physical is a big one. So like punching, that's why gym works well sometimes, or just, I don't know, whatever it is though, or sadness or fear, like being able to have those feelings versus pushing them down. I heard that was really crucial, maybe new. And then the meditation piece, it's changed my life. So I hear you on that one. That is powerful. Really, really appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely. It's life-changing, it's ongoing. And I know there's more layers for all of us. And it's really about just being ready for that, because quite a few months or for years, people have been like, meditation. I'm like, yes, I can't quiet my mind. Like, I just didn't know how. Yeah. And it was like, I said, okay, I'll try again. And it was like something clicked. And I was like, here you are. Here you are. Yeah. So for anyone that's listening, I would say, go with what feels right in your gut, whatever that is, even if there's nothing at that moment. That's part of I was just going to say about sitting in that space. Sometimes there is no sadness. Sometimes there is no anger. Sometimes there is no nothing. And that nothingness is okay too. Because that's what I was always going towards. I'm like, I got to feel something, like I've got, because I have all of the tools too. And I always want to find something, and I'm always working, and I had to learn, my lesson is stop.
Yeah. To stop. Wow. That's powerful too, to feel, to feel nothing. I know for me, my way of dealing with the nothingness used to be, and still sometimes not as much as food, would be, okay, I'm going to just go look in the cabinet. Somehow that would help me with nothing. I don't know. Right. That's Absolutely. Really well said. Wow.
Thank you.
Great, Shari.
Thanks, Anna.
You guys are the best. You're so positive and supportive of each other. Anna, is there anything, did you want to share an example or story, or totally?
Well, I just want to, bookend what Shari was just saying. I think that a big key to getting through any challenge, aside from recognizing it and, taking ego out of the way and saying, being accepting, being open, I think a big key word, and it's been coming up a lot lately, is being vulnerable. Yeah. And being accepting, because, for instance, like Shari said, we have a whole community to reach out to, but it's like, well, we're the founders and we're the head of this, but yet there was still a layer that it's almost like we didn't want to permeate to go and get the help ourselves. And once Shari permeated that layer, she really found the help that she needed for this specific thing that she was going through. And it's just a lesson for everyone that the sooner that you can just move through acceptance and, be ready to do something about it, really be completely vulnerable, because you don't know how the methods are going to show up in which you're going to find health and well-being. Because like Shari said, she, X'd out the box for meditation a long time ago. It was not in her list of what, the 100 modalities that you could possibly use, to feel better. And then this ended up being the thing. So being vulnerable and open-minded and open-hearted to someone that, you truly give your heart and your soul over to and trust. And I think that's really, really important to getting the success and getting through any type of challenge. And it doesn't have to be life-changing. It doesn't have to be a devastation. It doesn't have to be a big trauma. It doesn't have to be something that keeps repeating itself. The best time to do this is when we can identify something in its early stages and say, this doesn't make me feel good. So I think maybe even another tip would be tapping into your intuition and tapping into really what feels well to you. And if something's not feeling right, and you get it, like you get what's not going right inside of you, what's not feeling good, then you can, find something, to help you through that at the early stages. But I really commend Shari, because it's been like, things that she's been carrying on her shoulders for some things for her whole life. And the breakthroughs that she's made in these last couple of months have been remarkable and amazing. I mean, I wish I had a recent challenge to talk about.
That's okay.
I have ongoing challenges all the time.
I'm one of those.
The intuition piece is huge.
Yes. And you know all about that. I mean.
Yeah.
Queen of intuition.
Well, what's funny is what got me, what even had me find you guys, it was an intuitive thing, but I was so drawn to what you've created, which is I think a really good segue. Anna, by the way, thank you for sharing and adding to what Shari said. And then I think the intuition piece is a whole other topic. We could do another set. Maybe we'll weave it in. I mean, that to me is one of the most, areas it's most important, because we have this guidance system, that's constantly giving us information. It's just, am I listening? Are we listening? Or do we know how to listen? Are we giving space to listen? Am I trying to, am I calming myself down so I can listen? Am I giving myself space to feel nothing, like you said, Shari? And
what's the difference between intuition and fear, and who's talking to you in your head? And it's like, Yep.
And the crazy people.
Yeah, right. It's like, what is it? There's like that great quote, but what's the difference between intuition and fear is like, maybe there's a line. Like you might still be a little crazy when you're super into your intuition, but just a little more directed. And yeah, no, I love, that's a good point. And I think one of the things with what you guys do, I mean, you just have this community that has plethora of opportunities and courses and webinars and articles. And I mean, there's like so many avenues and ways to really get healing and well-being and wellness, including intuition. And I think it was actually something that someone had written about intuition on the Wellness Universe when I saw it for the first time. This is a couple years ago, right when I started my own business, and I was like, I don't know who this is, but I have got to meet these people and I've got to be part of this because I'm about this. And then it was so crazy. I think I reached out, and then the next thing I know, like I found my love team.
And you were
doing Diva Day.
I was at Diva Day. I had the honor. That was so fun to speak and to be part of that. That was awesome. And
that was fantastic.
It was just a great program and whole day that you guys planned. Talk a little bit, I think, for those who are just new or have heard of the Wellness Universe or want to know more, maybe just a tiny bit about maybe how it got started and the vision behind it. And then we'll get into, I'm just excited too to hear, like, how do you see it expanding? These are kind of either preview questions. Take one at a time.
Well, Shari's always good at wrapping it up. That's her forte. That's her spiel. She got it down pat.
So I'll share with you how we began, really, and where it came from. Is, Anna and I were both, running around on social media, really just sharing our own personal messages, our own life lessons. Anna had her spiritual jewelry line, and I was, doing coaching and doing my videos. And we started noticing that it was becoming more and more challenging to get our messages heard online with all of the constant algorithm changes and everything. And so we were in this community of inspirational people, and everyone was getting frustrated. And so Anna basically said, she had her vision, which I'm sure she could talk about, came to me and said, well, instead of all of us complaining about this, why don't we just create our own platform? A platform where people who are doing important work in the world, who are doing world-changing work, people who are helping others, where it's not a challenge to be able to find them, because this is the kind of work that needs to be out there. And so hence the Wellness Universe was born, and that was in 2014. And we've gathered now close to 3,000 world changers. And the reason for it, it's twofold. I'll talk about a personal reason of why it's so important, and that's because there's so many hurting people out there, and there are people who are not hurting, but who will eventually. And to be able to have a space and a place where folks can come and easily find people that can help them the way that I was able to help myself, to be able to have that available to them is everything to me, because I used to want to do it on my own. I was like, I'm going to change the world and I'm going to heal everybody. And then I woke up one day from my dream and realized you can't do it alone. So to be able to have a team now of people that are doing it, I think it's so needed in this world right now, a community of people connecting together, of people being able to just share and be authentic. And so for me personally, that is why I love the Wellness Universe.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
And I'll let Anna answer her.
Awesome.
Yeah. It really started out as a vision to create a space where people can be found for what they're doing, and to also assist and encourage the heartpreneur, the solopreneur, the entrepreneur who's serving the world with their unique gifts. And I'm no stranger to being a solopreneur, and I know it's a very lonely world. I know it's and you go through a myriad of roller coasters. It's not just one roller coaster ride, because you'll be on the emotional roller coaster one day, you'll be on the financial roller coaster another day, you'll be on this roller coaster the next day. So there's a lot of support that any entrepreneur needs. And on top of it, if you're personally connected to what you're doing, like a healer, like an artist, like someone who's serving through a divine inspiration they've received or something that they're really called to do, you're even more sensitive, and you're even more, how would you say, you need more support around you. And yet these are the people that are fearful of competition. They're fearful of that they're not good enough, but yet they want to do what they are called to do. There's just, it gets so complicated when you're talking to this group of people, and when they're trying to set up shop, hang a shingle somewhere, get themselves situated, figure it out, how are they going to thrive through what they do, and where it doesn't make them feel more alone and more isolated. So my passion is to help those who have a light to shine, to help them hold that light as high as possible and be a beacon, and come together and understand that it's through togetherness and through collaboration and co-creation community that's going to get us to the next level, and we can all help serve more people, and there will always be people that need help. And the funny thing is, you're one practitioner. There's one person that may go to 5 different practitioners. So, and there's always 1,000 and more than 1,000 people that need help per practitioner. So there's no way that we can ever not have enough people to serve. It will always be a plethora of people that need our help, because as people go along in their journeys, they're going to encounter different things. You just heard the co-founder of the Wellness Universe, Shari Alyse, say that she needed help. So everyone at every point in their life needs help from someone at some time. We were never born to be alone, solitary people living in solitude on an island. We are here to help each other. We are here to come together. And this is why I love the Wellness Universe, and why I was so passionate about creating this space, because bringing together people, it's like a collaborative concert. You know, when you go to those concerts and it's like an all-day thing, and then the next day they have even more bands. It's just like a big party, and it's different music. And, you know, you got your rock, you got your jazz, you got all these different bands playing, and maybe one is your favorite, but then you find another one that you like because you hear somebody else playing. That's kind of like what the Wellness Universe is. And you go because you're attracted to one thing, and then you find out all of these different things and different people, and all of these wonderful people who are doing something really wonderful to help make your life better. You know, so all of this together is really why I'm so passionate to really bring this out to the world and really make it just the epic place that it is now, in the epic space and community, and really grow it to where we see it as the like one and only go-to space for all things wellness, to connect with authentic people doing the work to serve the world. And that's kind of it in a nutshell.
That is quite a nutshell.
We're all passionate.
Yeah, no, I get it. Just a little bit. I'd love to hear some of the macro vision, which we just got a little bit, and maybe some of the micro, like what's coming up, you know, in the next couple months, in the year, some things that you're working on, a little bit of dream, and where you see this really, you know, shifting the world.
All right, go ahead, Shari.
No.
Go. Well, currently, you know, we're always trying to offer different types of content and collaborations and things through the platform, so people get their message out there to the world. We do monthly meditations on our webinar platform and our learning platform, and lots of our Woo World Changers have their own classes and courses through that. We have really great content coming out on the blog. The blog, we send out about 2 or 3 articles a day, and all of the content is strictly contributed from the members of the Wellness Universe. So it's not biased, and it's not slanted in any way. It's literally our stage that we created for them. So these are some of the things that happen on the day-to-day. And as we grow the Wellness Universe, we want to create and be incorporated into more live events. Coming up November 15th and 16th, we have Soccer X, which is absolutely a remarkable, hugely reputable and respected event that happens for the soccer industry. So everybody from around the world who are the people of the soccer world will be here. The executives, the team owners, the organizations, they will all be here. And we were blessed and honored with being the creators of their wellness zone. So in their whole 23-year history, they have never had a wellness zone. and we were welcomed to put that together for them. So we are so excited to bring the Wellness Universe members to the event with speaking and workshops and exhibit spaces. And we plan to see lots more of the like in the future. And Shari, do you want to elaborate on?
No, I was just going to say, really, it's about growing the live events and really connecting as many people to the people that they need. As a macro vision, it's world peace. I mean, that's the truth of it, is that, we say this, we believe that a happy, healthy, and whole person creates a happy, healthy, and whole world. So as many people as we can help and heal is a better world that's going to exist. So for us, it's being able to just touch as many people as we can through our live events, through the platform, through, meetups, however that looks like, through publishing, through our own TV channel. I mean, we see this as the Wellness Universe is the monster of
the fairy godmother.
Yes.
Little wand. Oh my gosh. You guys are so passionate. I feel like we could all skyrocket to the moon right now on just passion. I love it. Well, and I'm so with you. This happy, healthy, whole idea. It's so true. What is that phrase? Hurting people hurt others.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more that we can heal hurts within ourselves, physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, whatever they are, the less hurting that's going to come out of us. And I applaud and honor what you're doing. I believe in it wholeheartedly. I really do. And it's funny, going back to what you were saying, sometimes in this space, I know as I do coaching, speak different things, but I'm with a lot of different kinds of coaches and healers and people that are making a difference. And one of the things, I believe in is not only don't worry about competition. It doesn't exist. Fortunately or unfortunately, there is such a need. You could have millions of all of us and you'd still have plenty of people to help. Yeah. So I think, but I love your focus on the collaboration and working together as a team. And just, I'm a huge believer of that. When we do that, that's where magic happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think so many with like the whole online world and everything, and you're constantly bombarded with what everybody else is doing, and everybody else's business looks more successful for you, and they have an extra speaking gig than you did, and how did they get, and everybody is feeling that. And what I think bringing our community together to understand that it's in the collaboration where they're going to grow, and not trying to hoard and not trying to be better than, but to actually connect and help and lift each other up. That's where the success is going to come in, because as I discovered, I can't do it alone, but I certainly can do it with a team around me of world changers. If my goal is to serve others and help and heal others, it shouldn't just be about me. It should be about as many people as we can doing that.
It's beautiful. I'm thinking for those listening, if you're like, I want to be a world changer, there's everything you could ever want to know and more. It's at thewellnessuniverse.com. Right. And I'll have that in the show notes as well. And anything else that's coming up, we'll make sure to have that listed below so that people can tune in and see if maybe they can come to Soccer X or come to your retreat that you're doing in April, I think, right, in Sedona, which I'm personally obsessed with Sedona and you guys. So I hope I can be there, and others listening. Seriously.
We can't wait, and we really hope so. And just like you, Julie, you inspire us. It's through our members and through our community and through those that are doing, through those that are showing up, inspire us. Because Shari and I, all we want to do is create more space for everyone to unfurl their wings. That's really what we want to do. I mean, you know that firsthand. It's just what we do. It's just what we do, because we are not scared, and we know there's no such thing as competition, and we really do need to come to step up and step into your game fully to be able to serve best, so people get healed. And like you said, there'll still be millions and millions and millions of people that still need help.
Absolutely.
I might be scared a little.
Yeah.
No, I'm scared like the unknown. You never know what's coming around the bend, but I think when you have trust and faith, you just keep showing up and you keep going. And when you believe in your vision, you just keep taking those steps. And that's it. Yeah.
That's a call out right there. Is just keep taking the steps no matter what. Yeah, that's really reminds me of the Martin Luther King quote. You know, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to see the next stair. You do need to see at least the next step, though. Right. I will say that. You see the step, you might want to go meditate so you can get the step. You don't have to see any more than that. Yeah. So before we wrap up, I always like to just kind of end with some food for thought, some wisdom. So you can choose, and you can choose which question you want to answer. I like to ask, if there's a quote that inspires you, if you could be any song, what would that be? Or, if there's just words of wisdom that you feel like you want to impart, what would those be? So, buffet, choose what you like. You could do 3, 2, one of them. It's up to you. This is an all-inclusive buffet.
Oh my God, this is like my dream here. I get to just keep talking. I get to just keep talking.
I know, I'm with you there, sister.
Yeah. Did you want to go in, or you want me to go?
Oh no, I'll just impart some words of, well, they're my words, so I can't say that they're wisdom yet. I mean, somebody has to say that they're wisdom for them to be wisdom, but I just want to encourage anyone who really has something that they want to do. And I don't care literally if it's like learning how to roller skate to actually being in a practice of some sort. If there's something that you really, really, really want to do and it will inspire another, go and do it, because you have no idea how impactful your action is. We can sit and we can be in our head all day long. We could talk about things all day long, but you're taking action not only is great for you to unfold into the next version of yourself, because it really requires the action, but it inspires someone else, which is so key and so elemental for change to happen. And if we want true change to happen, we have to be the ones to step up.
Well said.
Beautiful.
Well
said. Thank you.
Of course, I have so much to say, but I'm just going to wrap it up in a song, that, and this would have never been my song a few months ago.
Are you going to sing?
Yeah.
Are you going to sing?
Should I? No, I'm just kidding. No. God,
yeah,
no,
you can do a line or two. Sure.
No. She's joking.
Okay.
Oh, I'm like, great.
I'm not joking. You could
sing on here.
Okay.
Anyway, no, for me, this, like I said, it wouldn't have been a few months ago, but what I used to believe strongly in letting go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And I realized how challenging and how much work is involved in letting it go. But by the Beatles, Let It Be, really for me right now is everything. And giving yourself that space to, just as I said before, sit in you, to be okay with you, to know that your space is safe. And it's a beautiful place to go to every day, a beautiful place to return, and one that will always, always welcome you.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
No singing.
Let it
be. Let it be. Okay.
See, there you go.
You just do Kumbaya, guys.
She had to get it in.
What was going on?
That's
it was
awesome.
Like all dramatic in my head as I was talking. It was playing in the background.
I love that song. That is an excellent.
Great song, Shari.
Use that one myself. That's fantastic. You guys are you're awesome. I'm so honored. I think what you're doing is incredible and needed and called for and wanted. And I hope everyone who has listened today and all those that will be listening and watching get to know you better, get to be part of the wellness universe and become a world changer. Everyone can do it and then some. So share it with everybody that you know. And I just honor who you are and what you're doing in the world. And I think it's extraordinary. And you both are an inspiration to me. And it was really so much fun to have some time with you today.
We thank you, Julie. And the feeling is more than mutual. We fell in love with you since we met you in person. And we were blessed to meet you in person, because we do have so many members and we don't have the opportunity to meet everyone in person. So it was a true honor and blessing to meet you. And you do inspire us. So thank you. And thank you for having us.
Thank you, Julie. You inspire me personally. I watch what you do all the time. I'm inspired by your authenticity. I'm inspired by your integrity. I'm inspired by you showing up every single day and doing the work, even when it's uncomfortable. I see you put it out there, and I know the challenges that you go through, and it's really inspiring for everybody. So thank you.